That the chair in the background, is that too distracting?
No, sir. You know everything's
Oh,
good. Okay, here
very
we
good.
go. Just been notification. All right. Okay, boom. And we are live. I want to thank everyone for tuning in to a very special edition of Off the Record on the People's Podcast this afternoon. We have an incredible guest with us today, a pioneer, one who has helped establish Islam all over the country, specifically out of New York and Miami. That's none other than Brother Peter Muhammad. He's going to give us some amazing information as well as inspiration. Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Wa alaikum salam.
This means a lot to myself, my family, and the viewing audience of the People's Podcast today. The first question that we have for you, sir, is when did you first hear the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad?
Oh, yes, good. In the name of Allah, the beneficent, the merciful, in the name of his messenger. I first heard Islam as a young teenager in the Bronx. Some of my homeboys came around the area and said they had heard people saying that Jesus was black,
Mm, mm,
and they thought it was fun. They were laughing and stuff like that. But then at that particular time, it hit me because this was the beginning of the 60s, and where we would start coming out of being Negroes and colored people. We were starting to embrace black, right? So when I heard that, I said, wow, that's something to check out, you know?
yes, sir.
So I found my way to the mosque, which was in the Bronx at that time, uh, on Prospect Avenue near the train station. I found out later that the mosque on 116th Street had been firebombed, so they were in the Bronx temporarily. This is during the era of Malcolm X. So I went to the temple. I was fascinated. I saw the brothers standing out security, which I had never seen in a church before. And when I went upstairs, the brothers and sisters were sitting separately, and there was a young minister there who was like blasting. You know, he had fire, but he also had love. And at the end of the lecture, he asked if anybody wants to stand up to help the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad resurrect his people. And I stood up and I went up and I shook his hand. And I found out later that that was Minister Farrakhan. He had just come down from Boston to be the minister in New York. So I, being so young, I couldn't actually join, but I continued to come to the mosque for over a year. And during that time, Malcolm X had been assassinated. So I still came because I was firmly in belief of the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad.
All praises to Allah. Beautiful. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay, so before Malcolm X was assassinated, what was it like being, in New York at that time period?
It in New York, it was very rough. They because you had two members of the nation who were vying or for the attention of the people. You had the Malcolm X people, and you had the people with the Honorable Elijah Muhammad.
Mm.
So that term that you hear, "who you with," that was one of the things that the captain at that time, Yusuf Shah, would come around and check with the people to find out who they were actually with. Are they still with the messenger, or are they going with Malcolm? So
Mm.
it was a lot of tension, and that's how they still don't know who actually did it, but that's how the mosque on 116th Street was firebombed during this particular time.
Yes, sir.
And it was a rough time, but people had to make a decision, and they did.
Okay, great. All praises to Allah. Yes, sir. And people are showing you love all across the country. My sister Naima and Miriam both give the greetings to you. So, assalamu alaikum, family. And thank everyone who watches from all over the country. Can't wait to put this on YouTube. Please let us know what city
Please
you're
return the
watching.
greetings our family.
Yes, sir. Praise be to Allah. I sure will. Okay, let's go back to Malcolm X. So the firebomb, assassination, then the firebomb. Were you nervous during that time period, being in New York?
You know, I was still in high school,
Okay.
and we heard about it on the news. As a matter of fact, I had been to the Audubon Ballroom many times because my mother was into all of the religious preachers that would come into town, and one of the places that they did was come to the Audubon Ballroom. So I was very familiar with it. They had dances there, and it was a very public place.
Mm,
So my parents at that particular time was trying to persuade me not to go to the mosque because of the media saying that if you join, and this is what they used to say, if you join the Muslims, you can't quit because they'll kill you,
mm,
like they did Malcolm X. So that was a big contention. But once you heard the teachings and you focused in on how the minister was talking about the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and how loving and how caring he was, and he wanted our people to be truly free, it was no question for me who I was going with. It's
mm.
the messenger. And I stayed with it. I was with him all the way until today. I'm still with the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. Yeah, that was no nothing.
Praise be to Allah. Yes, sir. Okay, now speaking of your mother and how did your family and friends feel once you accepted the teachings?
I'll just give you one example. After the minister would be teaching on eating pork and stuff like that, I decided on my own to bring my own several pots into the house, cooking pots, so that because I didn't want to eat out of the pots that my mother was cooking that had pork. And as a mother, she went through the pantry and she saw these couple of pots that she didn't know. She came in and she said, "Whose pots are these?" And I said, "They're mine, Mom." She said, "Why you guys?" Because I don't want you cooking pork. Next thing I knew, the pots went out, and I almost went out. I almost went out the door too. So I learned from there that it wasn't going to happen. So what finally happened was that they confronted me and said, "You have a choice. You can stay here in the house, or you can leave and go with your Muslims if you want to." And I was like 16 at the time, so I decided I'm going with the Muslims.
Mm,
So I walked out, and there was brothers that were similar to me, young brothers who had an apartment where everybody was chipping in and stuff. So I joined them, and that's where I was. I continued to go to school and finished the good grade and went into the 12th grade, and that's how that went. So a while I was estranged from the family, and
mm,
we didn't talk or anything for a long time.
mm. Well, I'm glad that it worked out. Now, is what you're saying, y'all.
Yes,
It went
sir.
back.
Yeah.
Okay, praise be to
Up
Allah.
until this day, that I'm the man. I'm the one that they all look up to now as a follower of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. My
Wonderful.
parents they're gone, but before they went, my mother, she stopped cooking pork, and the various things that come about if you hang on to Allah. He brings all things, makes all things new. So it was a
Praise
good
be to
ending.
Allah. Okay, great. Yes, sir. I love to see it. We love to see it. Okay. Next, did you ever see the minister again once you shake his hand and all that? Did you ever see him again?
Um, the next time I saw him was after I came back from the mosque in Miami. I stayed in Miami for 6 years.
Mm,
When I got there, the mosque was small but growing. Um, they moved around from various different places. The minister at that time was Lucius Br, the
mm.
dean of the ministers. He was
Yes, sir.
there, and we had a young enthusiastic Captain Samuel X, and who we know now is the great Abdul Rahman, but he
Yes,
was
sir.
our
Yes, sir.
captain.
Yes, sir.
Muhammad Ali had recently won the championship, and he had changed from Cassius Clay to Muhammad Ali. He was in Miami, so we
Mm,
had a nice little group. And the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that he wanted Miami to be the gateway to the Caribbean and to South and Central America for our people, because that's
mm.
where most of the people were coming in at that particular time
Yes, sir.
to Miami. So he purchased for us a beautiful edifice in the right in the center of the black area of Miami, Liberty City. He bought a beautiful building. We had a 40 car uh, parking lot. We had a professional kitchen and dining area.
Mm.
We had rooms for classrooms. We had just a beautiful place. So he decided to come down and dedicate that to Allah and to the service of our people. And when he was coming down, the local DJ and the black radio stations were saying the prophet is coming. You know, they're saying, "Hey, the
Mm.
prophet is coming down."
Mm. Mm.
And what happened is that there was a tremendous tropical storm that came through and bending the palm trees, raining and stuff. So they were saying, "We don't think he's coming because this weather is terrible." But about 2 hours before the messenger was scheduled to come down, the hurricane stopped. The tornado, it was amazing. Sun came out, birds were chirping,
Yes, sir.
and he came in. He delivered the dedication, and after he left, the tropical storm came back, and we were driving home to our little town further up from Miami, and it was raining cats and dogs, man. You
Mm.
know,
Mm.
and we were saying, what kind of man is this that the weather will bend and to his will and to his command, you know?
Mm.
So
Mm.
that was that. But I didn't have a chance to meet the minister until I came back to New York in '72 and to the new building on 116th Street. And it was like day and night from the Prospect Avenue mosque. They had stores all around the first floor, the ground floor.
Yes,
We
sir.
had a salam restaurant. We had a juice bar.
Mm.
We had a men's clothing store. We had a butcher shop. And guess who was the manager of the butcher shop?
Who's that?
Brother Larry, who became
Ms. Akbar.
Abdul Akbar. Yeah,
Yes, sir. Yes,
he was
sir.
he because he had said he had been a butcher, you know, so he was in charge of that. And we also had the beautiful men's barber shop also on the second floor, and we had elevator in the building. So if people who had infirmities and stuff didn't have to climb the stairs, they would just take the elevator.
Mm.
And on the second floor, we had Minister Farrakhan's office, and we had the University of Islam was on the second floor.
Mm.
The third floor was the sanctuary, the mosque itself. So it was a beautiful place, a pleasure to just to go and visit, you know. So that was the difference, and that's when I had a chance to be around the minister, not on a very personal basis, but in the basis as a believer around him, you know. And we had many occasions. As a matter of fact, he on my first marriage, he counseled us, you know. He gave
Mm.
us
Mm.
counsel
Mm.
and
Mm.
stuff
Mm.
like
Mm.
that.
Mm.
And we had this the Black Family Day at Randall's Island where we
Yes,
had
sir.
over 70,000 people come out. And I was assigned as a younger photographer. I could shoot the crowd, you know, up in the
Mm.
balcony and
Mm.
the
Mm.
crowd. I couldn't get down there where all of the big boys were, but I covered the crowd clapping and stuff like that. And that's when the minister we had all type of entertainers. We had Gil Scott Heron, who had his big hit in the bottle.
Yes, sir.
He was
Yes,
there,
sir.
and everybody was jamming. We had plenty of vendors and food. And after a while, the people started getting restless because they had not seen Minister Farrakhan, and they started shouting, "Farrakhan, Farrakhan, Farrakhan!" And all of a sudden, we see a helicopter coming out of the horizon, and it landed in the field of Randall's Island, you know, away from the crowd, and out came a master Moses Powell
Yes,
and
sir.
a couple of other modest martial art brothers, and then the minister stepped out, and the crowd went wow, man, because he's like he came out of heaven, you know, and he came up. and he gave a speech that is you can hear it today, and it's preserved on albums and stuff like that. But that was a beautiful time, and to show you the humbleness of the minister. After everything was over, we all returned back to the salon restaurant to reminisce on what was going on. And the minister came through, and he stopped and he thanked us for the service that we had done that day, and that we had he was very pleased with us. And I thought that that was very beautiful, because after all of that, and I knew he had to be tired and exhausted, but he still took time out to come to the average brother, the foot soldiers, and
Mm,
thank us. So this is the
mm.
type of a man that he is. Yeah.
All praise to Allah. Beautiful. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay, great. And people are showing you love all across the country.
But Josh, I can't hear you now.
Can you hear me
I'm not
now?
hearing. Yeah, I can't hear you.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Hmm.
Can you hear me?
No, I still can't hear you.
Oh man. Okay. Well, I want to thank my sister Naima, says all praise to Allah. Sister Christina, Christine Crowder says all praise to
Yeah,
Allah.
you. I still can't hear you, Josh. I don't know what's going on.
Gotta be something
Can you
here.
can you hear me?
Yes, sir. I can hear you. I can
Yeah,
hear you.
yeah. I don't know why I can't hear you. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. This is great. Okay. While we're dealing with this, we're gonna do a quick 60-second commercial break for all of the sponsors of the People's Podcast. This episode, we're gonna come right back to our brother Peter, as he explains to us his meeting the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, seeing him 3 times, Malcolm X, dealing with the great history of the minister in New York. Media production. There we go. And there we go. Yes, sir. What is going on?
Yeah,
Yes, sir. Hold on. Oh,
yeah,
yes, sir.
yeah.
Here it comes.
I now see Street Premiere Media Productions,
Yes,
but
sir.
I
Okay,
don't
yes,
see
sir.
you.
My sister Miriam, ABC I Love Me children's book and coloring book. My sister Naima, Stay on Point Dance Academy, LLC. She teaches ballet virtually, young girls all across the country, right here in the studio in Atlanta, Georgia. Raw Communications, if you're working on a book and you need copy editing, project management, or content development, please reach out to Raw Communications. Our brother, Fashion Guys, Urban Streetwear out of St.
He's,
Louis,
he's giving
Missouri,
the
314-329-6009.
the
Student minister
advertisement right now,
Robert
so let's
L.
wait and see.
Muhammad out of Austin, Texas, conflict mediation, squashing the beef throughout the Southwest region. He does a phenomenal job. His wife, Sister Fudia Muhammad, children of the Most High, giving birth to a God in the science of child rearing. Brother Kenneth, bow tie maker extraordinaire. He'll ship bow ties to you anywhere in the country. Dr. King Henry's Turkey Legs right here in Atlanta, Georgia. Okay, here we go. Oh, no. And we're coming right back to you all. I don't know what's going on. Oh,
Is that you can't hear him or you can't?
Yeah, I couldn't hear him. Okay, now see, that's me. Can we hear him?
Yeah, that's it. Turned off.
Yeah, we're still trying to get back at my grandson technician here, but for some reason I'm not hearing you.
Yeah, it should be good if he wants to try it now.
Okay, you want to try it now, Josh? Hey, Joshua, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. I'm coming right back.
Okay, now I got you. Yeah.
Yes, sir. So is everything straight on your end?
Oh, hold on.
It's good
You can hear him?
because he's not there.
Okay.
So when he comes back, then
Okay, whenever you're ready, Josh.
Okay, so I'm coming right back.
Okay. Yes, sir. Okay.
Should be good now.
Mhm. No, I still can't hear you, Josh.
He come back here. He should pop up when he comes back.
Oh, okay.
Let's see.
Please leave your message for 40496499667.
Hey, Josh, I'm still not hearing you.
There he is.
Oh, okay.
Should come
You
in
there?
a second.
Okay, now I can hear you. Yes, sir. All praises due to Allah.
Okay, great, great. I restarted it just to make sure. Okay, we good though.
Yeah, yeah. If we have to make another take, whatever,
No,
I'm
no,
with
sir.
you.
No, 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 no. I saved it. It's all saved. It's all saved. It's gonna be on YouTube straight. Okay, yes, sir. So, brother Peter, my next question for you. Are you there?
Hmm. Yes,
Yes, sir.
sir.
My next question for you. What was it like being a photographer, like in the early days of the nation?
Oh boy, it was beautiful because we had so many stars in Islam. We had ministers from all over, and things were happening in the city of New York that was going on. Like for instance, the Betty Shabazz minister Farrakhan uh, at the Apollo. We had took pictures of some of the biggest names in the industries.
Mm,
Uh, Mike Wallace, who was a big time a newsman, who you remind me of him because you have such good questions, that you
thank you very
ask.
much. Thank you very
Any
much.
old timer would know who Mike Wallace was. He was there. Lawyer William Kunstler, who defended many black people against police brutality and other things.
Mm,
The great jazz artist Lionel Hampton was there.
mm.
Queen Mother Moore, who was a leader in New York, she was there. And we just minister my old minister Abdul Biar from Miami, him and his lovely wife was there. it
Mm,
was it, it was like a Academy Award that many people that were there. So I was able to capture that. And also, the outside was patrolled and by all black police officers.
mm,
They,
mm,
they there were no white officers in Harlem on that day protecting the event. And inside, of course, FOI was there.
yes, sir.
Captain have pictures of Captain Dennis giving instructions and stuff. I also have a rare picture of Joshua Farrakhan,
Mm,
who was there looking like a young teenager at that time.
mm, mm,
I also took pictures of one of the messenger's grandsons, Nasir Muhammad, who was the son of Nathaniel Muhammad. He was there. He was a photographer also.
mm,
He actually worked with Life magazine, and that's how good he was. He
mm,
was there, and there's just so many people there, and I was able to capture much of that. During the time when we were selling the fish, the minister, we opened up a fish house in Harlem. It was called Muhammad's Fish House #1,
mm,
and we had a tremendous crowd. And he introduced the fish program, And after the speech, he gave free sandwiches to all of the people who were there, in the
Mm,
crowd. So
mm,
of
mm.
course, the homeboys in Harlem, anything that's free, they gonna be right there, And sister, our beloved mother Khadija was there, and it was just a crowd. So wherever something was jumping off, I was there to capture it in film and for history. So that's how it was in New York. Something was always happening. Yes,
Great.
sir.
Yes, sir. Praise be to Allah. Now,
Yes.
with these pictures, will you ever release these pictures? Where can we see them?
Yeah, I'm starting to compile a book now
Mm,
of all of the areas and the times that we took these pictures from Chicago, 1973, where we had the brothers and sisters. We took pictures of them coming back from the airport. We were all tired, leaning over, having our bean pies from Chicago in our arms and stuff like that. And I realized that those pictures were actually like almost 50 years ago.
mm.
So many of those brothers who were young, a couple of brothers had young wives and stuff. I would like to know how they're doing now, because they're now senior citizens,
Mm.
AARP people.
Yes, sir. Yes,
So
sir.
yeah, but I am going to compile a book of the photographs that I have taken. Yes, sir. I'm gonna try to be something like our great Minister Carlos,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
archiving the nation in the little space that I was in.
All
Yes, sir.
praise due to Allah. And on behalf of myself, my family, and the viewing audience of the People's Podcast, Brother Peter,
Hmm.
we thank Allah for your sacrifice and the sacrifice of your family as well. We thank you for all
Yeah.
the work that you put in.
Thank you, brother. Nothing is accomplished without sacrifice. That's
Yes, sir.
beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Okay, let's go to the times that you got to see the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Can you let us know about those?
Oh, yeah, yeah. The first time I mentioned was when he came to Miami, and he dedicated the mosque in Miami. It was
Yes,
the
sir.
first time I had a chance to have a glimpse of him and how he moves and operates. The second time I had a chance to see our beloved messenger was in Chicago. I think it was 69, I think, or 70. One of his granddaughters, Aisha Sharif Muhammad, was got married, and there was a proclamation that anyone who wanted to come to see the wedding was okay. So what we did, we had a paper crew in Miami where we all we did was sell the Muhammad Speak newspapers as a living, and we had gone from Key West to the tip to Tallahassee and Pensacola in Florida, and then we moved into Georgia and also South Carolina and Alabama selling the papers. So we started out. We went to Birmingham, Alabama, where the captain there was Captain Joe. He was well known in that
Mm,
area,
mm.
Captain Joe. And we, as course for courtesy, we would always let them know that we were in town and we would be selling papers. You don't just drop into somebody's territory. You
Yes,
know
sir.
what I
Yes,
mean?
sir. Yes, sir.
So they gave us approval to come on in, and we dealt to that. We usually sell from the morning till it's dark. So afterward, they invited us to the mosque where they gave us a dinner and good food, and they sent us off with a good spirit.
Mm,
And then we moved up to Indianapolis, Indiana, where we sold, and we of course introduced ourselves to the brothers there and let them know that we would be there for that day, and we were heading to Chicago. They told us, they gave us an address and said, when you finish, come to this address.
mm,
So after
mm.
the evening was over, we went to the address, and there the brothers had set up a table with delicious hot bean soup,
Mm.
and they had platters of toasted whole buttered whole wheat bread stacked up. I had never seen a stack that high.
Yes, sir. Yes,
And
sir.
it also was the first time that I had ever tried honey with my toast. So they fed us and they greeted us and they gave us a good send off. And this told me that because of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, We had brothers and sisters all over the world, really,
Mm,
but the
mm,
country. I had never met any of these brothers, but they treated us like we were close kin,
mm,
all because of
mm,
the unity of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. That was a lesson that we learned years ago. And when we got to Chicago, it's true they had a procession, floats and everything. Which I said, like, wow, people were lined up on both sides of the streets, clapping and cheering, and the newlyweds were waving from the float and stuff. It was a fantastic experience. And after we had secured the route of parade wedding, the Supreme Captain Raymond Sharif assembled us, and we marched full stepping to the messenger's house. He
mm,
said, "We're going
mm,
to the messenger's house." And when we got
mm,
to the house, as we entered the gate, the messenger and several of his sons were standing by. And as we walked through and we gave the salute, the messenger gave us a salute also.
mm, mm,
And
mm,
to this very day, I do not believe that my feet touched the ground during that time. It's like I was floating.
mm, mm,
And I was
mm.
looking at the messenger, and all of the people, the work that we were doing and the love that we had and dedication. Here was the man that we were doing this for, and he was there, and he saluted and gave us a smile, and then he went back inside, and we was dismissed by the Supreme Captain. And then those of us from the Florida paper crew, we visited the various businesses and stuff in Chicago. We went to the Your supermarket. We went to Salon Restaurant. We ate at the Salon Restaurant and viewed many of the buildings and the own businesses that we owned in Chicago. That was beautiful.
Mm.
And on the way back, of course, we sold the Muhammad Speak newspapers back to Miami. One thing I would tell you in our return trip, we were in some city in Georgia. I don't remember what the city was, right?
Mm.
And we had a Volkswagen bus, something similar to how the hippies had, but
Yes,
we
sir.
didn't put all of that flowers and love and all that on it. We just had a nice, beautiful beige bus, right? So we stopped in the town at the beginning of what they call the drag, which is where most of the black businesses and where people hang out and stuff like that. So as we got out of the bus with our Muhammad Speak newspapers in our hands, and of course back then the brothers wore all type of colored suits, the iridescents, the continental suits and stuff
Yes, sir.
like
Yes,
that.
sir.
So
Yes,
we
sir.
were
Yes,
looking
sir.
really, really sharp, right? So as we got out of the bus and proceeded to go down the street, all of a sudden these young girls and women started running toward us, shouting and and we were like, "What's going on?" And what we found out is that they thought that we were parts of James Brown band, the James
Mm,
Brown band, because he
mm.
was in town that weekend.
Yes,
So
sir.
they were
Yes, sir.
coming up to get autographs and everything. So we told them, we said that no, we are not members of the hardest working man in show business. We are members of the hardest working man in the nation for
Yes,
black
sir.
people, Honorable Elijah Muhammad. So needs to say, every one of those young ladies got a Muhammad speak at that time in their hands or under their arms, and that they were away. But that was just so funny that they thought that we were part of the band. And because
Oh,
you got to remember back then, black people basically in the South did not dress except on Sundays or special
mm, mm,
occasions. So here it
mm.
is a Wednesday, and these young black men coming out looking all smooth and cool. So I always laughed at that.
All praise due to Allah. Yes, sir. Okay, great. My next question for you: what was it like the last time you saw the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad?
Oh man, that was in 1973 at Savior's Day,
Mm,
and that was it was phenomenal. As a matter of fact, Minister Farrakhan brought him on
mm,
at the convention. At that time, the officials in Chicago were um, Yusuf Shah was the minister. Abbas Rasul was the national secretary, and of course Raymond Sharif was still the supreme captain.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Uh, Elijah Muhammad Jr. was the assistant supreme captain,
Yes, sir.
and they let Minister Farrakhan bring the Honorable Elijah Muhammad on. And as he was speaking to us and people were clapping, all of a sudden you heard Minister Yusuf Shah says, "The Messenger of Allah." And everybody stopped. The minister, everybody stopped, and we turned and we started clapping. Everybody stood up and said, "Long live Muhammad." We must have said, "Long live Muhammad," about 10 minutes as the messenger came up, and he stood and he looked at us and he said, "Y'all look so beautiful." Talking about this, and the Coliseum was filled. He said, "Y'all look so beautiful." He said, "I'm so happy to be here to see your smiling faces," you know. And his son Jabbar or Herbert had to tell him to tell the people to sit down, you know, because we were still standing, man. We were so in love with the messenger. So he said, "Sit down," and then he went on to teach us and give us words of wisdom. He spoke on the can't blame white people these days for what's going on with us. We have to take that responsibility ourselves because he didn't make himself. I know you heard that lectures before. He said he didn't make himself. We made him. So if we are blaming him, no, blame yourself or ask Allah why he made him. And the answers are in the Quran. If you read the Quran, he tells you why he's making him
Yes,
and
sir.
what the purpose of him is. So that was the last time I saw the message. Little did we know that in another year would be the last Savior's Day that we had with him, and that he would no longer be among us at that time. We never thought that he would not be with us, you know. So because of our immaturity, and this is just my opinion, because of our immaturity and our not studying the messenger and his mission more, we were caught off guard, you know. And
Yes, sir.
it's like we were like walking around in a desert, you know. It was really horrible. People cried. Some people went back to the world. Uh, some people went insane. You know, it was rough. And it was only till the Honorable uh, Minister Farrakhan stood up and brought the nation back that the people got their sanity back, you know. And that's one of the reasons why I will always love him and respect him, because he gave us back our father.
All praises due to Allah. Yes, sir.
Oh,
Yes, sir.
I will never turn against him. Excuse me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And thank you very much, Brother Peter. So many people are showing you love across the country. My sister Miriam says, all praises due to Allah.
Thank you. Praise be to Allah. Yeah, all praises due to Allah. That
Honest
I've been
Dripping.
able to share some of my experiences. And the Nation of Islam was not drudgery and all, you know, seriousness and stuff. That we enjoyed our Islam, you know, as the brothers and sisters today are enjoying their Islam. You know, it's a beautiful thing.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, yes, sir. It's a beautiful thing.
Excellent, excellent. Honest Dripping says, peace, God. My sister Naima says, teach, so beautiful. And people are showing you love all across the country.
Yes,
okay,
sir.
yes, sir. So once the minister stands back up and rebuilds the nation, where were you and when did you decide to be like, all right, I'm gonna help, I'm gonna come back, I'm gonna take pictures, I'm gonna be supportive of the mission? Where were you and how did that come about?
Well, I never forgot Minister Farrakhan, because he was my first teacher in Islam. And it's funny that he's still my teacher after all of these years, over
Yes,
50,
sir.
55 years. He's still the teacher. And when I heard him come back, and he was at some of the venues, he was at the Jacob Javits Center. He was at, of course, the famous Madison Square Garden.
Yes, sir.
I brought my family, and we went. We supported him, especially after some of the Jewish community wanted him dead. That solidified us and made us stand firmly for him. And he used to have a radio program, and he would invite you to come out and listen to the lecture. And of course, many of us, the old timers, would come and give donations and stuff like that, uh, to support the nation at that time, who was still young and growing again. I remember one time, Allah blessed me to have to give $2,000 to the mosque at number 7, right?
Mm.
And I was so happy coming from in Miami where we had nothing. We were like the poor righteous. We didn't have cars. We didn't have many times places to stay. And now Allah has blessed me to be able to give a $2,000 donation to the nation. I kept that receipt in my wallet till the numbers faded away. I was just
Mm.
so proud that I was able to do that. But remembering the words of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, if you remember his words and follow his teachings, you will have a heart similar to his and to Allah. That's what you strive for, to be like him. The Quran says that it's our duty to help the orphans and the widows and the disabled and stuff. So the give to the Nation of Islam was just a part of what we do. Remember, like Marvin Gaye said in one of his songs, that the government takes their money from us before we even get ours.
Yes, sir.
They
Yes,
get
sir.
theirs. So who are we not to support our nation like the nation of the United States is supported? Let's support our Nation of Islam with a tax or whatever you want to call it every year. So this was my philosophy. So I never had a problem with supporting the minister in the farmland or whatever he said he wanted us to do. I was right there with the money and the funds that Allah blessed me with. I would give that, and that's until to this very day. I am like that.
Beautiful. All praise due to Allah. Yes, sir. And thank everyone who continues to like, share, subscribe to the People's Podcast. My next question for you, sir, is being first of all, I want to say that Liberty City, I didn't know that was a real place. You got to pardon me. Liberty City, I learned that from a video game called Grand Theft Auto.
Really?
I thought it was a
Yeah.
made up
Liberty
place.
City
I didn't know it was a real place.
Yeah, Real Liberty City was the center of the Black Miami, and when the Haitian brothers started coming over, that's where they came also.
Mm.
Now the Cuban brothers, and many of them were Black. They were in what was called the South West section of Miami. They did not come in and blend in with the Blacks in Liberty City, but the Haitian people came and lived and worked with us in Miami, to the point that they have their own banks now in Miami.
Mm.
And everywhere you go, from the airports to hotels and stuff, they're working. So they're not a people who come over here for freebies and stuff like that. They are hardworking people, the Haitian people, and I give them much honor and respect uh, as our brothers.
Yes, sir. Okay, coming from Liberty City, going to
Mhm.
Harlem, New York, prior to 75. Now, has there ever been a time where you were faced with fear? And if so, how did you overcome
Yeah,
that fear?
yes. It's a funny thing. We were constantly being faced with fear, but because of our belief and our faith in the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and his teachings of Allah, we never let that get to us. It was
Mm.
only years after, that I realized that we had been in such dangers, and then I got nervous and scared. We were coming through Georgia, and we were selling the Muhammad Speaks in Albany, Georgia, and the police watched us all day. We did very well. We sold a lot of papers. We made a lot of money. And after we left part of the city, we were out eating dinner. And we made the mistake of throwing the garbage and stuff into the fields. And all of a sudden, as we threw the garbage into the fields, all of these police car lights came on. Boom. And the officers came out, and they grabbed us, and they arrested us, took us back to the jail in Albany. And we were asking them, what did we do? And they said they got us for littering,
Mm.
like the song of Alice's Restaurant. They got the guy for littering.
Mm.
So
Mm.
what they did was they threw us in jail. took all of the funds and the proceeds that we had worked for and kept them and tried to threaten us. And what it was is that we were standing in at ease, young brothers. We were angry because we were being, you know how we are, and we were angry because they could pulled us in.
Yes, sir.
So one of the guys, I think he was a detective. He had a pipe, white guy, and he came around and uh, the sergeant came first and said, "Okay, y'all boys, y'all sit down." So we stood up. We refused to sit down. We were standing. So this guy, he comes, he must have been a detective or he's the chief, something. He had a pipe and he walked around. He said, y'all boys better listen to him. And we still standing there, ramrod, angry. The next thing we know, those crackers grabbed us and slung us into the cells. And we were like lightweight anyway, back then, man. Oh! So after they took all our money, they took all our funds and everything. They finally let us go. So when we called back, because we were being sponsored more or less by the Mars, the ministers.
Mhm.
So we called them and let them know that we had finally got released. The minister told us, he said, the next time y'all get arrested, y'all gonna stay in jail. We ain't gonna come and get you. So needless to say, after that, we were very careful about our garbage and whatever. And what else? So we never were busted for anything like that. We were in, and speaking on the field, we were in Selma, Alabama. And this is the time of like Martin Luther King was being around, and they were lynching black people and stuff like that. We had no real idea that that was going on all around us in the South. People were losing, having their eyes knocked out and stuff like. It was only after we became adults and older that we realized we were in the lion's den, the belly of the beast, and because of Allah and His messenger, we were was covered. We were
Mm.
surrounded by the thicket, so that nothing could get to us. And that's what I'm saying about the fear. We had no fear
Allahu
because we
Akbar.
believed solely in Allah. We had seen so many things happen just from selling the Muhammad speaks and how Allah would always come to our aid and stuff like that. That we had no fear. I remember we were getting some gas one day, and this little white boy, he might have been about 9 or 10, speaking of how they are all police over us. As we get together, he said, "Hey, y'all guys, where y'all going?" He wanted to know, get some information. And we laughed at him because we know from the teachers that from the little ones to the oldest one, they always checking on us and wanting to know where. So they sent the little guy out there to ask us what's happening. So the fear was there, but it was because of Allah and His messenger having us in their bosom that we never really got hurt or anything because of it. It was only after we realized the things that were going on around us that there was a great danger there, but we never felt it. So that's the fear.
All praises due to Allah. Excellent. And
Yes,
people
sir.
showing you love. Sister Carmen Naya, I haven't seen her watching so probably like 3 years, but she's laughing. And then she says
The
also all
Islam
praises.
Islam was fun. It wasn't all
to Allah.
treachery. We had some good times.
Yes, sir. Great. Now, you spoke earlier about off camera, we talked about you being married for quite some time and grandfather, great grandfather. How important has being married been to your journey?
Oh, that was the journey. Like the messenger said, the woman is your heaven or your hell. I learned so much and I've been married twice, but I've learned so much from my current wife about life, business, and so many other things. One thing about her, and this is true of most women, if you would take time out to notice it, they are very quick on their feet.
Mm,
If
mm,
something
mm.
comes up, a problem or a situation, they are like, boom, they're right there. They got an answer for you. The brothers, we take like 2 or 3 days to kind of figure out what's going on. But
Yes, sir.
women, Allah has blessed them with that ability to think on their feet. He also gave them a tremendous love and a patience that the Holy Quran said that that's what we should strive for, patience. Women have tremendous patience.
Yes, sir.
And although we are always trying to be the boss and be the man, if we listen to our women, we will always come out better and
Mm,
on top, you know?
mm,
So this is the type of woman she was. She loves education. All of my
mm.
children have gone to college. I have one daughter that has two degrees, and one daughter studying architecture and design. So she was a stickler for education, and also she was a good cook.
Mm,
She
mm.
she could burn, man. You know, so those are the combinations, and she still burns.
Yes,
Those
sir.
are
Yes,
I
sir.
got some salmon with some onions and bell peppers in there, not waiting on me now. So those are the things. So when you, like the minister used to teach us, when you get that woman, she will bring out of you the things that you didn't even know that you had in you. She
Yes,
will
sir.
challenge you and she will make you a better person. So I recommend all uh, brothers, FOI, brothers on the street, get you a good woman. Look for her and get you a good woman that will be there for you. And she was there for me. She dug me, and that's also good, cool. You know, she would bring me when I worked in the subways for 35 years. Before we even got married, she would bring me lunch and various things like that.
Okay. Okay.
She courted me, you know, and
Yes,
that's the
sir.
type
Yes,
of
sir.
woman you want. You want that woman that sees potential in you and wants you. Those beautiful women that you out there looking after and trying to figure out how you gonna get them and stuff like that. Those are not the women for you. You get the woman that loves you
Yes,
and not
sir.
you in crazy in love with them. That's just a little tidbit for you. Yes, yes. Sir.
Yes, sir. Now you teaching. Now you teaching for sure. Um, my next question for you, sir, is what type of music do you listen to?
Oh, I'm a international. They call me Mr. International.
Okay.
I enjoy all types of music, Chinese, uh, Arabic. I have two particular albums that I particularly like, and I'll give them to you now. One of them is by Yusef Latif.
Mm,
It's called Jazz Around the World,
mm,
and in that particular album, there's a theme song from Spartacus, which is
mm.
a beautiful love song. If you ever get a chance to listen to the theme song from Spartacus by Yusuf Latif, you will fall in love with it. And also, speaking of the international, there's an album called Songs for the Women of Mali,
Mm.
and that's Mali, Africa, Mali.
Yes, sir.
Beautiful. You have to check that out. The song "Women of Mali." Those are just two of my favorites.
Okay, great. And thank you for putting this on, Brother Peter, to some international music because there was a song that even Sister Carmen from Chicago used to listen to. Some Chinese artists say "Ching Chunka Soon, Songa
And
Chong,
they're
Ching Songa Soon, Ching
yeah, their rap is really
Ching."
serious,
Yes,
man.
sir. Yes, sir.
Chinese rap, don't sleep on it.
Absolutely, absolutely not. Yes, sir. Okay. Will you ever write a book on your personal life, sir?
Very possibly. I haven't really thought about it, but it's possible. I more or less want to put together a photo book, a table photo book of the adventures of a young brother in the Nation of Islam. I would like to do that. But
Mm.
what I would like to do is ask you a couple of questions. One,
Let's get
because
into
you're
it, Brother
always
Peter.
you're the man that's asking the questions, and very rarely
Yes,
you get
sir.
the chance to get asked. One thing I want to ask is, have you ever first faced fear, and how did you overcome it? That's the first one.
Okay, great. Yes, sir. Thank you. And you're getting love all over the country, Brother Peter.
Yes, sir.
Thank you all for showing love, and I can't wait to put this on YouTube. Yes, sir. I'm faced with fear constantly, day to day. Give you an example of a time that I was faced with fear, and I overcame it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
About
Speaking
as
of
many
people,
times, but give me one.
yes, sir. Speaking of people in the comments, drill competitions. You know, being a
Okay.
drill instructor, man, it was never a time that my stomach wasn't tight that I didn't throw up in the bathroom before we went on stage or something. Like, and being a junior FOY in Chicago, and going in front of, this is the McCormick place at the time, the drill competition, man, 18, 20,000 people, not exaggerating, packed. And you going on stage and you going in there and you don't know if you're going to win or not. That was fear. And I faced it every time. Every time I performed in a play,
Yes,
in a
sir.
production, fear.
Go ahead.
every
Yes, sir.
time I speak, like a public event, you know what I'm saying? That's fear. And I've
Yes,
just
sir.
learned by the grace of God that you know, to meet and overcome all obstacles. But
Yes,
yes,
sir.
fear every time I've been on
That's right.
stage.
We run to our trouble and our problems instead of
Yes,
running
sir.
away from them.
Absolutely. And one of the
And
sisters in the comments, brother Peter, said fear of settling down. So, man,
they must know you.
yeah. They was around. And my sister Miriam said I'm in a hot seat. Thank you, Carmen. My goodness, and thank you, Mimi. Yes, sir. What was your other question, brother Peter?
And the other question is, what would you like your legacy to be?
Yes, sir. It's a great question.
Mm-hmm.
Someone who was creative, a proud believer in the true and living God, his messenger, the minister, the believers, and that I helped people in every way that I could by being myself and wanting to help people win, but represent for my family, my biological family, and represent for the people's podcast. Like I wanted to be someone who highlighted believers and people all over the country, and yeah, I want that to be my legacy. That I was people like, oh, he was creative, he was happy, he was kind to
Yes,
people.
sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Beautiful, beautiful. And that you are. And that you are. Yeah, very good. So we finally got a chance to hear from Josh and on some of the questions that he always throws on us. All
Yes,
praise
sir.
be to Allah.
Praise be to Allah. Thank you for the comment. Thank you, brother. Sister Zakwan Akbar, or brother Zakwan Akbar, say beloveds, alaikum salam, and peace to all the guys who was watching earlier. And my sister Naima says she loves this. Thank you all for watching. Yes, sir. Now to you, brother Peter Muhammad. That's what people want to see. All, especially those officers from Albany. They probably watching right now. They want to hear what you got to say. What do you want your legacy to be, sir?
That's a good question. I would like to be known as a servant of Allah, His messenger, and the Nation of Islam,
Mm.
ever striving to be mindful of my duty, and that's it. I just want to be a servant of Allah and His messenger, and mindful of my duty.
All praise due to Allah. Yes, sir. Well, we look forward to seeing your pictures, all of the
Okay.
classic memories that you have, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Let
sir.
us know when your book is done. Zakwan Akbar says, peace and blessings to you both. Peace and blessings to you as well. And people saying, yes, sir. And I can't wait to put this on YouTube because I know that you're going to get a lot of views. People want to hear the great history from Miami to New York. Now that I know the Liberty City, please don't judge me off and I know Liberty City was a real place.
Yes,
You know, I didn't know Liberty City. Shout out to all the 5 boroughs. And
right.
for your time in Chicago, seeing the Most High Elijah Muhammad saluting the messenger of God, like what are we saying?
And being a drill instructor and a soldier that you are, you know how that's important to the soldier, man. I never forgot that. I still haven't touched the ground on that one. I'm still floating.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I've had the honor of saluting the Most Honorable Mr. Farrakhan with the drill team.
Yes, sir.
Separate, but with the drill team, that's something that you never forget.
Right.
I can only imagine saluting.
So I'm not by myself. Yeah, to see the messenger. Oh man.
Yes, sir.
That was a beautiful thing.
Great. I want to thank everyone who's watched the People's Podcast today. This has been an honor. Thank you again, sir, to your family. This is Joshua Leonard Muhammad signing off for the People's Podcast.
Okay, Josh, I have one more thing to say about you and what you're doing. In the Muhammad Speaks newspaper, there was a feature called "What Islam Has Done for Me."
Yes, sir.
And in that particular feature, brothers and sisters from across the nation would write and tell of how they, like you're doing, how they first heard Islam, what Islam did to change them, and how they are living in real time. You are doing the same thing, but on steroids with your podcast. And I recognized it, and I like that you had that idea. It's the same idea as what Islam has done for us or for me. You're doing it with live people talking. You can see them. You can hear them. So I say to you, keep on keeping on, brother. Keep on keeping
Yes,
on. The
sir.
Lord's
Thank you very
gonna
much.
bless. You're gonna be in the history books, man.
Thank you, sir. Praise be to Allah. Yes,
All
sir.
right. Thank
Well,
you, sir.
thank you. Assalamu alaikum. And thank you all
Alaikum
for
salam.
watching.
Yes, sir. Thank you.